morning students. So today we'll be seeing about estimation of total proteins by Biuret method. So I'll show you how to perform and how to estimate total proteins in the serum. Okay, so if you think of proteins, so what are proteins? They are polymers of amino acids and they are the prime molecules in life, and more than half of organic materials that is present in human body is they are proteins. Okay, so protein we are estimating to assess liver function, to know the nutritive status of the body, to assess renal function, to diagnose immunodeficiency disorders like multiple myeloma, which is immunorelated. So all these conditions we estimate total proteins. Okay, so if you think of total proteins, proteins means many plasma proteins are there, like your albumin, globulin, all these things are there. So in serum proteins, only albumin and globulin. Okay, albumin plus globulin is your total proteins. So this we are going to estimate together in serum. Okay, so first I will explain you the principle of total proteins by Biuret method. So first, coming to the reagent composition, Biuret has copper sulfate, sodium potassium tartrate and NaOH. This is the reagent composition. So what happens? The proteins, protein means minimum 2 peptide bond it should have to react with Biuret reagent. So the proteins with minimum 2 peptide bond, they will react with this Biuret reagent to give a purple colored complex. So this complex is measured at 540 nanometer and intensity of the color is directly proportional to the concentration of proteins. The purple color formation is due to the formation of coordinate linkages. Okay, the 4 coordinate linkages will be formed between the copper ions that is present in Biuret reagent and nitrogen of the peptide bond, CONH bond. No? So nitrogen of peptide bond and the copper ions that is present in Biuret. These both will react. There will be formation of coordinate linkages that will give us a purple colored complex that is measured at 540 nanometers. So this is the principle of Biuret method. Now we will see the requirements for this experiment. So here we require normal saline. Okay, then serum we require, because in serum we are estimating total protein, so this is a sample. Then we want Biuret reagent. Okay, and coloring meter, we want to take the OD values. So these are the requirements. Now I will tell you the procedure for carrying out. So in your manual, if you look at, there is blank, standard and test. So you have to perform blank and test. No. Okay, so blank and test you will be performing. Standard you have to just mention in the tabular column. You need not perform standard. So you have to take 2 test tubes. One is for blank and one is for test. Standard OD values we will be giving. So you have to put it in your formula and use it for calculation and reporting. Okay, so in blank. So in blank what we have to add? 3 ml of saline we have to take and 3 ml of Biuret reagent. This is in blank. Whereas in test, 2.9 ml of saline, 0.1 ml of serum and 3 ml of Biuret reagent. You have to mix both and incubate for 15 minutes in room temperature. After 15 minutes, we will be taking the OD values and calculating and reporting we will be doing. Okay, now I will show how to perform. So here if you see, 2 test tubes are there. So one is blank and one is test. So one test tube, I am labeling it as B, blank, and another test tube, T. This is for test. So observe carefully how you have to do, how much you have to pipette and all, because this is a compulsory question in your exam. Okay. So this, if you see, this is a 5 ml pipette. We are going to mouth pipette. So you have to observe how to pipette. This is 5 ml pipette. So first I will take blank test tube and I will add 3 ml of saline. Okay. So if you see, till 0 I will take and release up to 3. In the blank. So when it reaches 3, I am stopping. So you have to be careful while adding. So this is 3 ml of saline I have added to the blank. Now again I will pipette 2.9 ml. So for the test it is 2.9 ml. So we have added saline now for 3 ml for blank and 2.9 ml for test. Now I will add serum 0.1 ml for test. So here if you see, this is 1 ml pipette here. Okay. So I will take till here and release up to here 0.1 ml. Fully I will pipette, release up to here. Okay, 0.1 I have added. Mix it. Now for both blank and test, 3 ml of biuret reagent we will have. So this is 5 ml pipette. So 3 ml 2 times I will take and I will add. is for blank and this is test. You have to mix well, keep it in room temperature for 15 minutes for incubation. So already you can see there is development of purple color. So after 15 minutes we will take the OD values. So we will keep this for incubation. Now we will see about clinical significance. By the time it gets incubated, we will go for calculation and clinical significance. See, we will see the calculation now. So after taking OD values, we have to use this calculation for final calculation of total protein. So formula, if you see, it is OD of test minus OD of blank divided by OD of standard minus OD of blank into concentration of standard divided by volume of sample into 100. So this is a formula. So OD of test by standard, both blanks will get cancelled. OD of test by standard into 0.006. This is the concentration in 0.1 ml. The standard protein concentration is 6 grams per DL. Okay. So standard protein concentration is 6 grams per deciliter. So concentration of standard will be 6 gram in 100 ml. So in 0.1 ml which we are taking, how much it will be? So when we cross multiply, we will get 0.006. So that is how the calculation is there. Then volume of sample which we are taking is 0.1 into 100. So finally this will arrive. OD of test minus divided by OD of standard into 6. So after taking the OD values, again the calculation part I will show. Now we will see the clinical significance. So clinical significance with respect to proteins, there are two conditions. One is hypoproteinemia and the other one is hyperproteinemia. Normal total protein, serum total protein concentration is 6 to 8 grams per deciliter. Albumin is 3.5 to 5 grams per DL. Globulin is 2.5 to 3.5 grams per DL. So this is the concentration. And AG ratio, normal AG ratio is 1:1. So albumin value divided by globulin value, we get AG ratio. So in estimation of albumin, we will explain the calculation also. But that is easier. Albumin value divided by globulin value. Globulin value, how are we getting? It is total protein minus albumin. Okay. See, total protein is equal to albumin plus globulin. So if we want globulin value, total protein minus albumin is equal to globulin value. Albumin divided by globulin is your AG ratio. Okay. In certain conditions, AG ratio will be affected. I will discuss about that also. First we will see about hypoproteinemia. Okay. So if you think of hypoproteinemia, it is decreased protein concentration. So first thing is inadequate diet. So in our diet, when we are not able to take required amount of protein, that will lead to malnutrition. Okay, one protein energy malnutrition is kwashiorkor. There are two conditions, right? So marasmus and kwashiorkor. Marasmus mainly it is energy deficiency will be there, whereas in kwashiorkor it is protein deficiency. If the child is suffering from kwashiorkor, there will be reduced albumin level. Usually it will be less than 2 grams per deciliter. Okay, so that we characterize as hypoproteinemia. So since the albumin is decreased, there will be edema also, irritability will be there, and the functions that are done by proteins, that also will be affected. Proteins, you all know how important it is. Protein, they act as enzymes, hormones, then transport functions are there, nutritive functions are there. So many functions are there for proteins. All those will be affected in hypoproteinemia. In hypoproteinemia, albumin will be less. In hyper, globulin will be more generally. Okay, so this is inadequate diet, malnutrition. About kwashiorkor you have to explain. Then reduced synthesis. So where is protein synthesized in our body? It is in the liver. All plasma proteins are synthesized in liver except immunoglobulins. Okay, so when liver is affected, synthesis of protein is also affected. So in what all condition liver gets affected? Main cause is cirrhosis of liver. Okay, when there is cirrhosis of liver, that affects the synthesis. So this estimation of total protein with respect to liver, this comes in the liver function panel. Okay, so this is under the synthetic function of liver. When protein is less, liver is affected, synthesis is affected. Then increased loss. So how are we going to lose the proteins? It is proteinuria. So proteinuria, many conditions are there, many causes are there. So excretion of albumin, we call it as albuminuria. Excretion of proteins, we call it as proteinuria. So there are three types: glomerular proteinuria, then overflow proteinuria, and tubular proteinuria. This loss is due to renal disorder. Okay, synthesis was related to liver related disorder. Loss is related to renal disorders. When there is damage to the glomerulus, okay, and when the permeability, vascular permeability is altered, that will lead to glomerular proteinuria. When the concentration of circulating protein is increased, low weight proteins, that will lead to overflow proteinuria. And when there is damage to the tubules, tubular damage, so that will lead to tubular proteinuria. The tubular capacity to reabsorb will be reduced. So all these are the causes for increased loss. Okay, so increased loss, nephrotic syndrome should come into your mind. In nephrotic, there will be proteinuria, there will be edema due to protein loss. So nephrotic syndrome is increased loss. And nephritis also, when there is inflammation to the nephrons, nephritis, nephrotic syndrome, and if there is any inflammation in the urinary tract, all this will affect the protein. Then reduced absorption. So reduced absorption when there is malabsorption. So usually when do we see malabsorption? If there is chronic diarrhea, vomiting, all these conditions, that will lead to reduced absorption. Then increased catabolism. When there is high grade fever, there will be increased catabolism in our body. So there also we can see hypoproteinemia. Then congestive heart failure. So congestive heart failure means, the name itself is telling there will be congestion. So vascular congestiveness will be there. So that will lead to the congestive heart failure. Then analbuminemia. So this is a very rare condition. This is related to the gene that is responsible for synthesis of albumin. When the gene is mutated, that will affect synthesis of albumin. This is a very rare condition. So the gene doesn't synthesize albumin at all. Very rare condition this is. Okay, so this is about hypoproteinemia. Now we will see hyperproteinemia. So hyperproteinemia, I told you, it is due to the increased gamma globulins. So first cause is hemoconcentration. When there is hemoconcentration, gamma globulins level will go high. And then when there is multiple myeloma. About multiple myeloma in previous classes and all you would have studied, and even in electrophoresis also. So what is the main feature of this multiple myeloma? It is appearance of M band in the electrophoretic pattern, isn't it? So that M band is due to the monoclonal gammopathy. Okay, this is also called as paraproteinemia or monoclonal gammopathy. So in multiple myeloma, gamma globulins will be high. There will be formation of M band, extra band. When their concentration increases, the Ben-Jones proteins. So that is a main feature of this multiple myeloma. So Ben-Jones protein will get excreted in urine. Presence of Ben-Jones protein in urine, proteinuria, and appearance of M band in electrophoresis. All these are the characteristic features of multiple myeloma. And in malaria, it will be increased. And Kala Azar, this is also called as black fever caused by parasites, okay, parasitic infection. So in this condition also there will be hyperproteinemia. Okay, I have told you how to calculate AG ratio. Now we will see in what all condition AG ratio will be altered. Okay, so AG ratio, if you look at here, one condition is kwashiorkor. In kwashiorkor, total protein will be decreased albumin will be decreased. So if albumin is less, that will affect the Ag ratio, right? So that is one condition. And in the nephrotic syndrome, so where there is increased loss, so in that condition also Ag ratio is altered. And in multiple myeloma, so all these conditions Ag ratio will be altered. And one more condition is cirrhosis of liver, where there is decreased synthesis. When there is inflammation to the nephrons, nephritis, nephrotic syndrome, cirrhosis of liver, kwashiorkor and multiple myeloma. So these are the conditions where the Ag ratio is altered. Okay. So 15 minutes incubation is over. So we will take the OD readings now. So first, distilled water is there in the cuvette. So we will discard, tap on the tissue paper, take blank, mix it well. So 3/4 of the cuvette you have to take. Wipe it, then keep it, set it to 0. Okay, so with blank we are setting it to 0. So once after setting it to 0, rinse the cuvette once. Now take test. Mix it well and take. So wipe excess. Okay, you can see the value is 0.24. Now we will use this for calculation. So you saw the OD value. First we had set with blank to 0. Then we have taken the reading of our test. Okay. So test value was 0.24 divided by standard 0.20. This standard value we only will be giving in your exams. Okay, only you have to do only blank and test, take the OD value. Standard value we will be giving. So that value you have to put it here into 6. So when we calculate, it will be, so this will be 7.2 grams per deciliter. So this is the protein concentration. The concentration of total serum protein will be 7.2 grams per deciliter. So this is how you have to report, and whatever value you are getting, clinical significance regarding to that, with respect to that will be asked. So you might get different samples. We might give you different samples. It might be hypo, hyper or normal. So you should be able to answer and you should be thorough with the clinical significance. So this is about Biuret method, estimation of serum proteins by Biuret method. There are different methods also, like Geldan's method, Lowry's method is there, and UV absorption method, that is spectrophotometric method. So Lowry's method, that is dependent on the tyrosine and tryptophan content. So it is sensitive, but that is not routinely used, Lowry's method. Whereas Geldan's method, so that takes days only to get the protein report. That is also not recommended for the routine laboratory investigations. Coming to UV absorption, this is sensitive, accurate, good results will be getting, and accurate protein values will be getting. But here one advantage is you need not color the solution to measure. Spectrophotometer is there. Here we have taken the reading using coloring meter. There it will, in spectrophotometric or UV absorption method, in 280 nanometer we will be measuring proteins, and you need not color the solution. So direct protein solution, if you keep it in the spectrophotometer, that will give you the value at 280 nanometer. Okay, so these are the other methods. Routinely Biuret only is done. Here also in our clinical chemistry, biochemistry lab, protein is estimated based on this principle, doing the procedure, carrying out, taking the reading, I hope it is clear. And regarding clinical significance also, hypo, hyper and altered age ratio, in what all conditions it is there. Okay, I hope this is clear for you all. Thank you.